Are you feeling overwhelmed in your business? Spinning your wheels, but not really moving? This week's episode is your permission slip to step out of busy mode and into your CEO mindset. Today, we're discussing the 30-minute weekly ritual that helps 6- and 7-figure CEOs stay focused. Stay tuned and schedule your first CEO meeting with yourself.
Hey, lady bosses, are you working even after putting the kids to bed but still not getting results?
Are you tired of spending money on ads that aren't getting engagement?
Do you feel burdened that you aren't fulfilling your purpose in life because you are so consumed with work?
I'm your host, Brooke Boltz. I'm an attorney and founder of Boltz Legal. I started my business and in 1 year was bringing in 7 figures and am now bringing in multi-7 figures.
And I'm your co-host, Rachel Boltz, owner of Boltz Media. I've helped many businesses build their online presence and increase their revenue through digital marketing.
Want to hear how we did it?
We are here to help you achieve your goals personally, professionally, and spiritually.
So kick off your high heels, sit back, and let's ignite that passion.
We're Miss Biz, where we're putting the miss in biz.
Let's get biz done.
Being a business owner is tough. Even being a busy business professional can be quite challenging as well. Because when you wear all of the hats in your business, it's very easy to confuse motion with progress. You're answering all the phone calls, emails, chasing clients, posting on social media, and somehow still wondering, why don't I feel in control of any of this? But here's the truth. If you're not having regular CEO level check-ins, you're not leading your business, you're just reacting to it. So having set aside that time to think strategically, plan it on your calendar, go through your calendar, your clients, and your to-do list, once you do those items, the show will run for you. And you don't necessarily need a boardroom or a conference room or wall to do this. You just need 30 minutes of intentional time to focus to make CEO level decisions that'll actually move the needle.
And if you have a business that gets a lot of emails, then it is so easy to spend your time just reacting to emails, responding to emails, and not getting things accomplished that you actually planned to do. That's something that has been a pitfall for me, is plan to get a motion drafted or do something specific one day, and then I get the emails starting, and then as they come in, I'm just like, I got to respond to this real quick, respond to this one, and then before you know it, the end of the day has come, and I didn't do what I planned to do.
Yeah, you hear people say it all the time that they spend too much time working in their business opposed to working on their business. So making those CEO level check-ins with yourself will really help you map out the best course of action for dealing with these problems. So according to a 2022 study, the average worker spends 58% of their time on work about work. That's checking messages, updating tasks, or coordinating logistics. That leaves less than half of your time for deep, real, strategic work. And as the CEO, that changes everything.
Yeah. So if you're tired of being busy but not better, this is where the shift starts. A CEO meeting with yourself isn't your typical journaling session or event fest with a notebook. This is your stepping into the role of a visionary, strategist, and decision maker, all in under 30 minutes.
Think of this as your weekly power session. It's a repeatable, structured check-in that helps you run your business with clarity and intention and not chaos and caffeine. And this simple habit will help you audit what's working and then what's silently draining your time. Reconnect with the big picture that you're building towards. Keep your metrics front and center so that you don't drift off course. This is extremely important. And stop reacting to the noise and start making real strategic moves.
And I think it's important to schedule this at a time where you hopefully aren't going to be torn in a bunch of different directions. Like, I think before the office opens in the morning or after the office closes in the afternoon, sometime when you're not going to have a bunch of distractions that causes you to just say, these other things are more important.
And I think, for me at least, having something that can be consistent on your schedule helps me stay in line. So if I know that every Thursday afternoon I'm having my CEO meeting with myself, then I can be consistent with that, and then nothing else will get coordinated during that date and time. If you leave it up to varying every single week, it's going to be less likely that you're actually going to make that happen.
So someone who has mastered the art of intentional leadership is Oprah Winfrey. She, despite overseeing a media empire, carved out weekly time for what she calls stillness, which is a structured pause to reflect, refocus, and reset. She said in multiple interviews that the ritual is a non-negotiable and often includes questions like, what is trying to get my attention right now? Am I living in alignment with my purpose? Where am I spending energy that isn't serving the bigger vision? Another question that I started asking of myself each day, as well as my children on the ride to school, is what emotion are you carrying? And because a lot of times we're walking around in bitterness and anger or sadness or some emotion, and we don't even really realize it. And if we sit and just reflect and ask ourselves, what emotion am I carrying? And recognize, I'm feeling anxious today, or I'm still upset about that person who did me wrong yesterday. And then addressing it, forgiving that person, and praying through whatever the emotion is, if it's not a peaceful, happy, joyful one.
Yeah. This meeting isn't about staying busy. It's really about staying anchored. And it's no coincidence that Oprah contributes most of her clarity, confidence, and long-term success to these regular check-ins with herself. And it's one of the world's most successful entrepreneurs, how they make space for this. So imagine what it can do for you as well.
Do you love the Miss Biz podcast?
Because we love you.
Here's 3 things you can do to show your support.
1, write us a review. Apple, Spotify, and Google My Business are the best platforms to write a review.
2, follow us on social media. Our handle is @MissBizPodcast.
3, join our Facebook group, Miss Biz Nation, for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage. Also, ask questions related to your business and discuss topics from our episodes.
So here's the framework of the weekly CEO meeting. There's 5 steps to lead with clarity. So it's not just another checklist, it's your CEO playbook. When done weekly, it creates consistent momentum. It reveals where things are really working and keeps you focused on growth, not just grind. So the first part of the meeting framework is to celebrate your wins and capture learnings. This is about 5 minutes. So you take a breath and look back on your prior week. What went well? What surprised you? What did you learn from what did you learn from the things that didn't go well? And this reminds me when I was participating in CRISP, which is a lawyer coaching program. Every quarterly workshop would start with looking back on your quarter and writing down your wins. And you would write down your professional wins and your personal wins. And I started incorporating that into our staff meetings as well. We go around the room at the beginning of the staff meeting. Everyone shares a win that they've had since the last meeting. And it really was eye-opening to me in those crisp sessions how much had happened in that last quarter that I just hadn't even reflected on, because I'm just always looking forward at the future and moving to the next step. So taking that time just to look back and learn from the good and the bad is valuable.
Yes. And I think actually, a Harvard Business Review found that tracking small wins boosts daily motivation, creativity, and long-term performance. So it's really all about strategy. But I think starting the meeting off with something positive that went well will really help set the tone for the rest of the meeting as you go about planning and being strategic.
It also allows other people to celebrate with you.
Yes.
Because sometimes you may be inwardly happy about something that happened, but nobody else knows about it. And how much more rewarding is it when the rest of your team can join in the celebration with you?
Absolutely. So the second point is to track your metrics like a CEO. This can be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. So your business, it speaks in numbers, and you'd be surprised how many people don't even know what money is going in and what money is going out. So you're going to want to break down your business earnings and metrics in a couple different categories. One is going to be revenue and sales, email list growth or engagement, your conversion rates, your client feedback, web traffic, or social insights. Those are all ones that you want to focus on. You can even break them down even further by leads, but where are those leads coming from, so that you get a better idea of maybe where you need to focus more energy on to make the conversion rate better. So you don't want to just report, you want to really analyze this data. Look at what's trending up, look at what's plateauing, and look where you need to shift your focus at. So there's a quote by Peter Drucker that says, "What gets measured gets managed." And that's something that I live by in my daily life.
Yes. So third is the vision alignment check. And this is 5 minutes of your 30-minute routine. So ask yourself, is this week's focus aligned with my 12-month vision? Am I moving with purpose or just reacting to noise? Your energy is a currency, so spend it like a CEO. This step takes you from building a business that burns you out or leads you nowhere, and helps you focus on your overall purpose, mission, and vision for your business. So as a bonus, every 90 days, do a full vision realignment and see what's changed and what needs to evolve. Because just as good as annual planning is, things outside of our control happen throughout the year, and we have to be constantly reevaluating what needs to be tweaked. So every 90 days is a good time to do a pulse check.
You'd be really surprised too at how many business owners really don't have a vision at all, or a clear vision. Like, they know that they want to make money, but they don't know how much money they want to make, or when they want to make that money, or how they're going to make that money, and then what their next ultimate goal is and how they're going to get there. A lot of them don't even have retirement goals. I was talking to someone not too long ago, and I was like, well, what do you want to do when you retire? They're like, I haven't even thought about retiring. And that just blew my mind. I'm like, you don't know what you want to do when you're done working? So being able to get really crystal clear on what your vision is, not only for your company, but also for your future and your passion, because your company is going to help you get there. So I think really having that clearly defined is going to be beneficial as well.
So step 4 is to do an audit of the obstacles and resistance that stand in your way. And this is a part that people tend to avoid, because it's looking at kind of the negative things that might be holding you back. So ask yourself, what's feeling heavy or what's feeling blocked? What tasks keep falling off my to-do list? Where am I procrastinating and why? These answers are pure gold. Often your next breakthrough is hiding behind that resistance if you just identify it and then face it head on. So don't judge it as you get these answers. Just be curious. Growth lives in the discomfort. Having a standout speaker resume is so important to booking speaking engagements. If you're looking to increase your speaking engagements, but don't know where to start with your speaker resume and you'd like to see a couple of examples, we would be happy to share ours with you.
Go to missbiz.com/contact and in the subject line type speaker resumes and we'll send you your copy today. So this is something that's so important to look at because I had a bad experience with a client recently. And I decided that I'm going to be more selective of my clients. I want to help as many people as possible, of course, but not every client is going to be a good fit for everyone. So opposed to spending all this time, effort, and energy into a client who maybe isn't going to be satisfied or happy no matter what, you could be the Pope and they're still not going to be happy, that might not be a headache that you're willing or wanting to go through. So I kind of set that boundary for myself recently, and I had an experience this week where a real estate agent had contacted me and was inquiring of my services. And as soon as we got on the phone, I just felt like this pit in my stomach. She was talking about how she was being sued, how she was currently suing other marketing companies.
Oof.
She was talking about how it's not uncommon for her to call people at 10:30 at night if she has answers or has questions about certain things, and just came off very abrasive, I did not feel like our personalities were going to mesh at all. So, having just recently had that experience, it brought to mind, this might not be the best type of client for me. Anything that's going to steal your joy or steal your focus from what you need to be doing, what your purpose is something that you need to be aware of and know how to recognize and handle.
It's a great lesson, and it brings to mind something similar recently where we had a potential client who made one of our staff members cry because he was just being so rude to her. And this is someone who's been with the firm for 7 years, who is by all accounts, superstar. And so we just politely declined to take on his case. But it's a tough thing to do, to turn away revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And
it is, because I, for me, and I know for you too, I want to help everyone. It's not even necessarily about the financial gain. I genuinely want my clients to succeed, and I know you do as well. But there comes that point where is it really going to benefit anybody?
Right. Are you going to really be able to meet their expectations? Sometimes they're just not attainable.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So number 5 is to identify your top 3 priorities, and this should take about 5 to 10 minutes. So this is not your 47-item task list. We're going to narrow it down to those top 3 things that you really want to focus on. So they should be needle movers. And by needle movers, these are the things that are going to affect the bottom line and the growth of the business, not 3 things that are not going to move the needle.
Right.
And I think we know the difference. So Research from Stanford shows that narrowing down to 3 key priorities improves productivity by 25% and reduces decision fatigue. So this is where your strategy meets execution. So ask yourself, if I only got 3 things done this week, what would truly matter? What moves me closer to my goals, not just my comfort zone?
This is such a great point because so many times I see people make the mistake of focusing on the little things and not really even looking at the big picture. I know many people that are truly experts at what they do, but they focus too much time on the wrong activities and don't truly have that time to be able to do the things that needs to push their business forward.
And this is too where having staff can help you. If you're in a position that you can bring on an assistant, this is really a place where it makes it easier to prioritize when you're not the only person trying to wear all the hats. You don't have to be the person scheduling your own meetings. You can delegate that to someone else, and now your priorities can focus on those needle movers.
And now more than ever, we have so many different opportunities. You can hire virtual assistants very cheaply. There are just so many different resources, ways that you can automate and really make life simple. So really look at those activities and what can be simplified, what can be delegated, so that you can focus on what you need to do for your business.
So some pro tips to hold yourself accountable and create a habit of doing these weekly check-ins is to put it on your calendar. Put it on your calendar like a meeting with Oprah. It's a non-negotiable, something that you cannot miss. Also, do it in a CEO mindset, away from the chaos, in a clean, calm space. Use a dedicated CEO journal to track patterns over time. And start with a saying, I am the CEO of my own energy, time, and business. I lead, not react.
You became a business owner to lead, not just to work. The weekly CEO meeting with yourself is how you own that role. So start this week, no fancy setup needed, just intention, reflection, and the courage to face your business with clarity.
And if you'd like a copy of these 5 items for having that weekly CEO meeting to sit down and have a checklist as you have your meeting each week, just send us an email at missbiz.com or fill out the contact form. We'll be happy to send you the checklist.
We appreciate you and are honored to be on this journey with you. We can't wait to help you, to encourage you, and show you how to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
If you found Miss Biz helpful, please leave a review and share with others.
You can follow us on social media at Miss Biz Podcast.
For legal questions or services, please visit boltzlegal.com.
And for digital marketing needs, please visit boltzmedia.com. Let's get biz done.